Hey folks, I'm here for just a bit to share some thoughts with you on the exhumation of Pauline Pusser. I wanted to say that there was a pretty good newspaper article in the Tennessean today regarding my thoughts on what's going on. If you get a chance, you ought to read it. It's online. But I wanted to take some time to address some issues that have come up, and I think it's important to do so. First of all, I wanted to address the fact that some people think I have an axe to grind with Sheriff Pusser. And of course, that's not true. I didn't even know the man. I just saw his movie. There's another issue that I wanted to address, and that is that a lot of people say that I am related to Louise Hathcock. Well, I assure you that I am not related to anyone on either side of this story. And neither are any of my family members. Some of the fan pages out there are saying that, I'm a felon, that I've been arrested, charged, all this with multiple felonies. That's simply not true. Neither myself nor my family members have been subject to arrest and charges like they claim. This is just something they do to sow seeds of doubt in readers' minds and viewers' minds. So I caution you against what these people from fan pages say. Also, I would point out that my personal crime wave over the years has amounted to 2 speeding tickets of speeding 14 miles an hour or less than the posted speed limit. That's it. Anyone can check and find that out. If I had been a felon such as these people claim, there was no way that I would have been able to serve in law enforcement. So, that holds absolutely no water. Now, as for Pauline's exhumation, I will say that yes, I've shared a lot of information with the TBI over a period of time, just as any citizen should if they happen to know anything about a crime that has been committed or any possible criminal act. TBI apparently took some of those things seriously and have worked with them. I did not, nor can I, as some people say, order the exhumation of Pauline Pusser. I'm not a person of standing in this case. That would be her family members, mostly her siblings, I would imagine, and the TBI, because they are the law enforcement agency that's looking into this. Now, I will tell you that, the state takes exhumations very seriously. There's a lot of factors that they've got to consider. First of all, there's family issues. There's concerns that have to be addressed. Pauline's siblings grew up with her. They knew her, they loved her, they lived with her, and now they want to know what happened to her. And I don't see a darn thing that's wrong with that. Also, in such a case, there has to be a cause of action for an exhumation to take place. Now, of course, after they've established a cause of action, the TBI and the district attorney has to establish that cause, and then it's got to be presented in a petition form to a judge for him to review and then sign an order for an exhumation. And no one in that process takes that as anything less than being a very serious situation. Now, yeah, I know that there's a lot of expense that's involved in this. But if it was your family member, you would probably want to know what really happened. The average exhumation, depending on the circumstances, cost anywhere from $3,000 to $15,000. And this is by far anything normal other than a normal circumstance, as there are so many questions about what happened to Pauline. and if there even was an alleged ambush. Now, there's costs that are involved. For instance, they're doing an autopsy. You know, you have an agency that's involved in that. You've got a lot of man hours at the TBI and other agencies have put into this, so all that gets involved. Most importantly, I'd like to point out that the TBI, the district attorney, everyone involved here, realizes that they are possibly looking at taking down one of Tennessee's most iconic lawmen. I don't know how else to put it. So obviously they have a very good reason for the exhumation of Pauline Pusser. I would also like to address what I call the fan page people. Now, these people are out there saying all sorts of things, trying to stifle whatever they think that is going to happen. You know, many of these people think that Walking Tall was a documentary when it was just a motion picture meant for entertainment purposes. Even the caption in the movie indicated that the story was a fictional account of certain events in Buford's life. Now, perhaps they misreading this. You know, they still want to act as if people such as Ludie McVeigh, John Witter, Callie Hacker, Buell Jaggers, Pinky Dobson, Stud Pardee, and many others were real people, and they weren't. They were all fictional characters. Now, these fictional characters, like Buford's own fictional character, were manufactured to make the film more dramatic, exciting, entertaining, and inspirational, while the real storyline was nothing more than an embellished fictional account of the real story. In case you're wondering, I'm working from notes here. Moving on, I also want to address the claim that I'm selling my book trying to make money off of a dead man. Well, to that I would have to ask the people on these fan pages, did they ask W.R. Morris what his motives were when he wrote the less than accurate story, The 12th of August? And did they ask Robert Broughton, who wrote a fictional account, The Ghost Tales of the State Line Mob, you know, what his motive was for doing so? And, you know, they even have to ask Buford why that he was making money off of a fictional account of his story. Then, of course, there's Dewana, the one that most people don't want to hear about. I always felt sorry for Dewana, losing her mom at such an early age. She was only like 6 years old. Lost Buford when she was 12 or 13. She really didn't know the real story. I'm sure that most of what she knew came from friends and family. But you do have to ask yourself, in reality, what was her motive in writing the book Walking On? Was she trying to make money off of her father who wasn't there? Now, I don't expect to make enough money off of my book to cover the expenses that I've incurred in investigating this story. I mean, I live 450 miles from McNairy County. It's not like I can just drive over there every day. When I do drive, I try to stay a while. That creates motel bills. It creates dining bills, so on and so forth. And then there's everything that I've put into software, where I'm having to invest in software to find people, to record interviews, camera equipment. There's a lot of things that are involved. Now, as for me, this has always been about finding justice for Pauline, nothing more. I've noticed that a lot of people, however, are jumping on the bandwagon now that the story has changed. A lot of people who used to make these videos stopped when they thought that the story was dead. And now that they see it coming back to life, they're trying to come back, make videos, reinvent themselves, and reinvent their stories. But sadly, they're using a lot of the same old information and just whatever that they used before, just to make themselves relevant again. And then there's a lot of others that are new to it. They see the stories, they think, well, I'll jump in here and tell my version of things. I'm just saying, don't trust all these people. They have an agenda. You need to be aware of that. And, I wonder where all these people were when I was out there in the trenches digging for information. I didn't see any of them. They weren't posting anything, so, At any rate, I'll just close right now by saying that, I'll be back next week with installment 24 of Buford Pusser, the other story, and I hope you'll join me. Thanks, and have a good day.